Alright, this is going to be a completely different video than usual. I just have to get the record straight. So I'm over here relaxing after a hard day's work in hell. I look over my social media and I see this one post talking about the Mount Rushmore of Marvel Comics. Looking through this, I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty good list. And then I see the fourth character. And right there, I was like, hell no, this is not it, Chief. So I'm here to tell you what the real Mount Rushmore of Marvel Comics is. This is the correct list. All of you are wrong. Don't even bother arguing with me. I'm right, you're wrong. Alright? Now, before I tell you who should be the fourth spot, we gotta understand something. What qualifies a character to be part of the Mount Rushmore? When it comes to Marvel, it should be characters that were well known way before the MCU. Characters that were popular, that were well known to comic fans and to normies. So to me, that's how I look at it. And to start off that list, obviously, you have to put in Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a well-known character. He's Marvel's flagship character. You'd be insane not to include Spider-Man on a Mount Rushmore. Not only is he part of a Mount Rushmore of Marvel characters, but he's part of a Mount Rushmore of superheroes in general. Heck, he might even be part of a Mount Rushmore of characters of all time. The second character, Wolverine, easily. The X-Men were very popular pre-MCU. They were popular in the 90s with the Chris Claremont and Jim Lee comics and the 90s show. And throughout, they've been popular with the movies, but the one character to represent the X-Men and is probably more popular than the X-Men is Wolverine. So easily he would be on that list too. Now, the third one can't be debatable, but it has to be the Hulk. Back in the day, the Hulk was popular thanks to the TV show from the 70s starring Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby. So right there, the Hulk's popularity grew and he's just been well known since then. Now, here we go. This is the one where many people debate. This is the one where you'll have Twitter arguments with everyone. But before we get into the actual character, let's look at other characters. Daredevil was not that well known back then. I mean, you had the Ben Affleck movie, but that was about it. Overall, people thought he was just a knockoff Spider-Man. And it wasn't until the Netflix show where he became really popular. So Daredevil would not be on this list. Blade, some people will mention Blade, but Blade's popularity spiked when the movie came out. And even then, people who saw the movie had no idea that Blade was a Marvel character. So Blade would be off that list. Now, here comes the big two right here. Iron Man. Iron Man is one of those characters that was not well known back then. Once the movie came out, he became a household name. So Iron Man automatically out. And then the one character that made me start this video in the first place, Captain America. Now, Cap was a character, he was kind of well known back then. Heck, even my mom knew who Captain America was. But Captain America was not a very popular character. As a matter of fact, a lot of people thought he was lame. Again, it wasn't until the MCU where he became a fucking badass. But him being fourth, and I get it, he was one of the first characters that Jack Kirby worked on, and that automatically would make him part of it. But again, it has to be characters that were popular back in the day. Now, let's get into the actual fourth spot. The one that I think deserves it. And what a fucking coincidence. It's the Thing. Member of the Fantastic Four. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but here's why I think the Thing should be part of the Mount Rushmore. First of all, the Fantastic Four, they weren't as popular as X-Men or Spider-Man, but they were well known. And they're Marvel's first family. They're very important because those were the first creations of Stan Lee. They were pretty much the jumpstart of the Marvel universe in comics. And yeah, the movies also helped too. But why the Thing over someone like Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, or Human Torch? Well, when you look at merchandise, a lot of it is the Thing. Like, the Thing is their best seller when it comes to Fantastic Four. Design-wise, he's very appealing. And the stories that they tell about Ben Grimm are great. So when you mention the Fantastic Four to a normie, for example, they would say, oh, the guy who's made out of rocks. And plus, he has the most iconic catchphrase of all time. time. Like, that right there automatically puts him in the 4th spot. Sure, their popularity fell off in the 2010s, but that has to do with the fact that Ike Perlmutter, the CEO of Marvel Entertainment, was pissed off that they didn't have the rights to the movies. So they got rid of X-Men and Fantastic Four for a while. But even then, like, they were still well known. Like, people would always mention X-Men and Fantastic Four. So yeah, I think the Thing should be the 4th spot. If you disagree, comment down who you think it should, and I will end the video off here. Like and subscribe, and as always, let's hug it out. It's clobbering time!